I'm having a sort of an adverse reaction to a new sunblock right now. Where
What's happening?
I feel like it's making my skin red. And I just want to be like, don't you know your job is the opposite?
I'm a Cullen. I'm a vampire. Keep me pale.
Yes, I feel punished. Like I did the work of slathering this shit on my face. And then I look red.
I need you, girl.
Do you ever have something that is such a bummer, kind of just like a social, personal bummer that instead of reaching out, you just become quiet for like 3 days?
Big time.
Yes.
So last Friday night, we invited our downstairs neighbors over for dinner. They're really nice and they're really cool and they have a little baby. And it's just like, hey, let's be friends with these people, obviously, because they're great. And I tried a recipe that I felt pretty confident about.
Okay.
Confident in theoretically or confident that you'd cooked it before?
I had not cooked it before. I had done a lot of other recipes that this chef put out there. And the difference here was it was a braise, which I'm just kind of like, I just kind of don't do that sometimes because I feel like it's annoying.
I'm queen of braises.
Totally. Yeah. It's just a preference of like, do you want to transfer something to a plate while you do something else? Or are you just trying to put everything, in a pot or on a pan or whatever? Just kind of one move.
I see. You don't like the searing and then the second step.
And I can never really tell, what do you mean by golden brown? Is this enough? Is that enough? And like, I'm kind of grossed out by how the chicken's not really done when you put it on the plate. And I just like, maybe I was too nervous. And it was a vinegar braise also. Like a few braised, yeah. And I had made a vinegar roasted chicken. It was so good. I made it 3 other times. So anyway, I'm starting to make this. I'm like, this seems not, I feel like I'm doing a bad job. And I'm, I cook.
You're
I'm like,
cook.
I can do this.
Jenny's a wonderful cook,
yes.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm a bad driver. I'm a good cook.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
you
I'm
do also
cooking
drive all the time, but you just didn't get better at that. Like cooking is something you've improved at.
Yeah. Finally, my family just moved to New York and my car got taken away, basically. It's like, this is just let's just all get where we need to be. So I go through the moves. I put it, back in the pot. It's simmering away, blah, blah, blah. And it was just fucking gross. Like it was gross and it was all I had to serve. There were some side things. Salad was good. The potatoes were weird, sadly. I don't know how that happened.
Hey.
The chicken tasted just fully like vinegar, like white vinegar.
Boof.
It was rubbery.
It's like pickled.
Yeah. It seemed like it was done, but it felt like it wasn't. I noticed that people were eating the other things and their pieces of chicken were like on their plate.
Yeah.
And I was like,
eating like actors in a scene.
No. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like, in a movie, a lot of times when people eat ice cream and they just like sort of weirdly drag the spoon across what is clearly yogurt, like it's like not even frozen. That kills me.
I love the Chinese takeout boxes where it's like 1 grain of rice.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Side note, one time I made a commercial for Tillamook ice cream. I highly recommend. I'm not on their payroll anymore, but I love it. And they actually had to be like, can you slow down? So I tried to apologize.
Yeah.
But it seemed like, oh, I was bad. And they were like, no, you're not. And I was like, no, look, guys, like, but I don't know them well enough to be like, hey, let's all admit. Yeah. And then later I was like, Ben, that was bad, right? And he was like, you're a really good cook. That was not your best. And I was like, oh God. Now these people think I'm like an idiot who served them garbage, like maybe unsafe garbage. What would you do? Would you just let it lie or what? What am I supposed to do here?
I'd follow up.
Yeah.
My instinct is we got to laugh this off.
Yes,
like,
100%.
Hey, we've all had shitty dinners. We've all fucked up a recipe, or we've all chosen the wrong thing. It'd just be like, hey, it was so nice you guys came over. I do want to be friends. And I swear if you come over again, like I won't feed you shitty pickled chicken. Oopsies. And just try and like make a joke of it. That's what I would do.
I feel like I used to love and repeat the advice that I'd heard Julia Child says, never apologize. I thought that was very charming, and it's like, don't be self-deprecating. People have come over. You're putting on a dinner party. Own it. But I don't agree with her advice. She was wrong about a lot of things. That's why she's dead.
Yeah, that's why she died, honestly. If you are wrong a certain amount of times, that's when you die.
They just get rid of you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm living between strikes 2 and 3 right now, for sure. Borrowed time.
Oh, brother.
Oh, yeah. What I did want to bring up before, and I really was making me think of Gabe, which is, have you seen The Rip?
No, not yet. I'm dying.
New Matt and Ben movie.
Oh.
I'm just really happy for Ben Affleck and for us to have Ben Affleck.
Whoa.
Wow. Say
like,
more.
I think it's really wonderful that like every time you see Ben Affleck doing an interview now promoting something, it's like he's like probably has a cigarette in his hand, but he's like speaking perfect Spanish and like talking about how like Foucault predicted artificial general intelligence and like how he's invented a new type of credit default swap to like take back the means of production for artists. But then the movie he's promoting is like called like The Lords of the Grunt. And it's about a sniper that does MMA. And you're just like, you are the most...
Yeah.
Like the duality of Ben Affleck is such a gift. He's so complicated and so simple. I love that we just like have him a lot.
He's
Now,
a
Max-
great actor, man.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
You famously latched on to Tom Cruise as a superior being or whatever.
Yeah.
You're number one.
You've got, a vanity plate.
Yes.
Tom Cruise. That's as close as you could get, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, where does Ben fall in that pantheon of special men? And would you ever get a license plate, and what would it say?
Okay. As strange as Tom Cruise seems in real life, and as much as there has been anecdotes and press about him that's compelling, I like Tom on screen. And he happens to make movies that are like some of my favorites, you know? I'm not really saying he's a better actor than Ben Affleck. I just mean like the canon of Tom Cruise movies is sort of like occupies a higher space. I am just really loving the kind of like metatextual element of Ben Affleck. I really like a lot of his movies, but I also just like love being surprised by who he is as a person. And
so it's on and off screen.
Yeah, it's like I think just like the arc of this story, I think he's like seemed like he was the like bro one or the dumb one of the two, just kind of maybe because of the roles he chose after the Oscar and stuff. But it's like clear that these two young guys won an Oscar for writing a movie when they're 26. Neither of them are dumb, probably.
Yeah, and they're both really good kissers.
That's so cool, Gabe.
Thanks. Yeah, I can just say that.
I do think you'd really enjoy The Rip. It's a Netflix movie where they play cops on a squad in Miami that like takes down like stash houses. But then there's a giant one they come across and they get caught in the middle of this is too much money and people are going to want it. And everybody's a suspect. And it all takes place in one night.
And
do you think they just like love making movies together, but it's almost like a little bit too vulnerable for them because they're like playing, you know, like every now and then they're doing a scene. And it's like, maybe they're people. It's like Jennifer Aniston has done a lot of movies with Jason Bateman and they've like got a shorthand or something, but it's like Matt and Ben, like they're playmates from their youth in a way. And it's like, do you ever think it's sort of like too touching for them that's how I imagine it is like when, like, if I'm not sure if there's a scene in this movie where they have to suddenly doubt maybe he's lying to me, maybe he's going to take the money, or maybe one of them gets hurt and the other one has to be concerned. Like, I wonder if that is like very intimate for them.
There is a scene where one of them is like, I'm not trusting you right now, and I really don't like that. Like, you're making me not trust you, but we're guys who trust each other. Like, it just feels like it's about them. Oh, I love it.
Do you think that I can, what do you call it, goon through the whole movie?
Yeah, that's my question. Yeah.
Like,
is it edgeworthy?
They're so sexual to me, and I don't mean any disrespect to like their partners or whatever. You know, I'm just saying, like, it's I'm gonna do with that material what I might be inspired to do.
Yeah.
I just
like, what size shirts are they wearing? That's the question. And are there always shirts?
And if I took off both their shirts, would they be wearing the same deodorant if I smelled both armpits of each man? I love pits,
baby.
I know.
You
I
love
a
pits.
ripe pitta.
Jenny
Love
Slate
'em.
Pit Pig.
Can't help
That's
myself,
what the gays
man.
call you. I'm really excited about our guest today. He is truly so funny. He is so surprising.
Yep. I was about to say the same thing. Nobody surprises me and makes me laugh harder.
Totally.
Than Mr.
Yes.
Jon Daly.
Jon Daly, wow.
Comedian, actor,
Damn.
New season
gimme.
of Fallout. Both seasons of Fallout. He's
Absolutely.
so fantastic on Amazon Prime. When we're back, we're going to talk to him. We love him so much.
Hey, gang.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, Jon Daly.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Woo-woo.
What's up?
Welcome.
Yeah, Matt and Ben, I love them. Like, it turns
Yeah.
out, like, I forget that I love them. And then they come together and I'm like, man, okay, all right, whatever. Like, I do love how Ben Affleck is so smart and
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck is so
Like
smart.
the banjo great Bela
Yeah,
Fleck.
Bella Fleck.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Bella Fleck. He didn't do the Kennedy Center because Trump
That's
took
right.
it over. Good for Bella. I hate his music.
Straight up.
Or I just don't love it. You know, I don't know.
Same.
If I heard it, I'd turn it off. Yeah.
You
For
don't
sure.
like the banjo, or is it just this particular?
I don't know. I found it interesting in high school because his drummer plays like a drumitar. He like invented an instrument, and I was like, this guy's clearly cool. And then I was like, why do I feel sad when I listen to this? But
Yeah. Bella Fleck fell into this kind of, I was such a poser in high school and like always pretending to like shit that I didn't just to have like one friend.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bella Fleck fell into this bucket of like jam bands that I like had to just sort of play along with. Even went to a lot of live shows just to have like a social life. Saw Fish a million times,
You're
like
doing
whatever.
Guster, you're doing
I was doing
Dispatch.
Guster. I was doing all of that. And Bella Fleck and I would say Fish were the most challenging just because like it was so instrumental and the songs were
Yeah.
so long. And like I was like, I had a little bit of access to drugs through these friends, but even they
Yeah.
weren't like, you know what I mean? It was like I was very much a guest. And so yeah, if Bella Fleck came on right now, I would have like shivers.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gabe, we need to get Jon Daly's opinion on this, and I want to litigate it.
yeah.
Speaking of taking on an opinion to please one person, we need to talk about the Ron Funches episode. And you
Oh,
Yeah.
throwing
Diet
Throwing
Coke under
Diet
the bus.
Coke under the bus.
Okay,
Hard.
so we did a podcast with episode of this show with Ron Funches.
I love him.
And there's a moment where he is singing the praises of Coke Zero. And I, was happy to play along with that. Coke Zero, absolutely delicious. But then the next thing he said is it's so much better than Diet Coke. Diet Coke is garbage. But I was like arm pump, like I was like doing too much. And it was a little too late. Like the words were coming faster than my like performative like reaction could react. But I like fucking love Diet Coke. And so I was like caught on cam and mic, like just completely agreeing with something that I disagree with. And since then, Max and I have been texting with a mutual friend of the group here, John Levinstein, about like how I like sold my soul so bad in that moment.
Did you
And
feel like you were in high school, like you were kind of a poser in that moment for Diet Coke?
100%. I was
that what-
like, no, Diet Coke is disgusting. And I'm like, I love Diet Coke.
I love Diet Coke as well.
Yeah, it's just
My
different.
fridge is full of tiny Diet Cokes. I love
It is?
tiny Diet Cokes.
Oh, I love those tiny cans. Nothing is bad. That's actually the best invention of our lifetime. The
I
small
love
cans
those
of soda.
tiny cans. I like it when it's ginger ale.
yeah.
Sure.
That
gotta
makes me
get
feel
that
like I have a
Diet
small
Coke.
little nurse helping me with my tum-tum.
Yes, yeah. Speaking
know?
of that, not to get too graphic, but I was just in Japan.
Okay.
And I guess constipation is a real problem there because
Really?
they have Diet Coke. It's called Coke Zero Plus or Diet Coke Plus. And it's
Wow.
Diet Coke with fiber.
Yeah, man. Give
is
it.
a
Give it.
laxative Coke.
Yeah. Great.
And
Oh.
we were eating a lot of Japanese breakfast, which is like
Yes.
you wake up in like the band, you wake
Yeah.
up in the morning and they give you like a trout. Yeah, with its
Yes,
eye
sure.
like
Oh,
looking
I
up at
want
you,
it.
and
Yeah.
you're just like,
eat
okay, I'm gonna eat trout. It's 8:30. I'm gonna
Yeah.
eat some trout, and it's so weird. And so I got stopped up, and I looked on Reddit, and I looked up Japanese constipation, and
Yeah.
and
Another
there
great
is a
band.
huge thing. It's like try the Coke Plus, and I tried the Coke Plus, and it was too much, but it did work.
Wow. So fish is gonna make things slow down inside for you?
I think it's just a combination of, it was a lot of dried fish, just complicated things for me to digest.
Sure.
I think like stuff I'm not used to, basically.
Yeah.
But it was rough for a second there, but we got through it. Yeah.
I did see a terrible headline recently on some GQ interview with a Manosphere podcaster. Why Chris Williamson says fiber is coming for protein's crown.
Oh.
And it was like, his take is that from like a health and trend perspective, this sort of like need to get protein is going to be replaced by a need to get fiber. And it's very funny to imagine that
fiber's huge.
Ripped up guys or whatever are going to be like drinking, you know, fiber shakes just because they're like, I need to get 140 grams a day or I'll die, you know?
Yeah. I was shopping for coffee last night at Sprouts and they had protein coffee.
Right.
And I was what is nobody?
Because protein currently has the crown. That's what he's saying. Protein has the crown.
Protein,
but fiber is coming for protein's crown.
It's very hard for me to be hungry for breakfast when I wake up. But if I wake up and the coffee isn't like ready and there, I feel really distressed.
Oh,
like scared.
I will. Yeah. If we're like out of coffee or something like that, we'll get into a fight.
I would never let that happen to you or anyone.
Yeah, John, we'll take care of it. I'm going to send you a pound of coffee every 4 days.
Thank you
for the rest
so
of
much.
my life.
I'll
With
tell
a
you what
ton
kind
of
I
fiber
like.
in it.
Yeah, and I'm going to do estate planning so that even if I die, it'll continue. And my son won't have the ability to take that away.
Can I pass that down to my children?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Cool. This is amazing. I can't wait for your funeral. I can't wait to see what, and it's all like Peet's coffee or something. It's all like, it's okay. It's not bad.
Fine.
You know?
You're like, oh, I have a lot of Peet's coffee. It's
You're
not
not gonna
really
run out.
Yeah.
It's Folgers, it's not the worst. Gabe, I was going to say, I was a poser in high school, but it was like my brothers were into punk rock. And so I was like, just kind of into that. Like naturally, that was the music I grew up hearing, and everyone in high school was into Dave Matthews Band,
of course,
and Fish and stuff like that. Like all the jocks who wore like white hats, who were like the cool kids. And so I was like, and they would go see this band called Rusted Root. Remember Rusted?
Yeah, maybe Send Me on My Way.
Yeah, Send Me on My Way. Like
that
kind of white people acting Native American. Super weird. And they were from Pittsburgh, so they were like our local fave, and they played a lot. And I never went to the shows because I was like, I'm punk. And then I like started acting and getting into theater, and then I was like, oh, fuck everything, whatever. I'm just going to go to this show, I'm going to be just open-minded now. And I went to this Rusted Root show, and I was like, oh, these were the people who were having fun. I was like, oh, I should have just kind of done this and like go to where like people are like gathering and having fun and like smoking weed and stuff. That's
and kind of unselfconsciously just like connecting with like pleasure and community.
I mean, the trade-offs were worth it. Like I wouldn't, I don't think I would do anything different if given a second chance. I would still be the poser and get the friends and go to concerts.
You did go, like I didn't even go to any concerts. I do remember like that it seemed like people, at least like in Massachusetts, were going to like Great Woods to see Dave Matthews, and they all liked Dave Matthews, and I didn't like Dave Matthews Band at all, and I like could not connect to it. But it seemed like people went there and they like made out really hard, and you got to get fingered and stuff, and they would like get bags of weed, and it just you got
fingered within an inch of his life.
It just was like
I had a peanut stuck in my throat, and they pushed it out from the
under
back.
the table and fingered.
Under the table and fingered. I just liked Fiona Apple so much.
Yeah,
and like Garbage. That was and like Bjork.
Bjork, I was going to say that was the artist that I was not faking it for, but no one could really meet me there.
Wait, were people going to Bjork concerts? That's pretty.
It is cool looking back
I went
now.
to one with you, Gabe, right?
Yeah,
we
saw her a lot. And when we were younger,
well,
in
college,
New York.
I feel that's when
you're
different.
yourself.
You level up in college.
Yeah,
I definitely like.
Yeah,
I saw Dave Matthews Band in high school, but actively didn't have tickets to the show. Mm-hmm. Went to Foxborough with my friends to drink and hopefully, get to touch someone. didn't get to touch anyone, but then they all went into the concert and I just was then hanging in a parking lot
No.
with like one passed out person. You know, there was almost like tailgating. A few people parked together in like one of the fields, but they all had tickets and I just sort of was like, I don't want to do that. So then just was kind of hanging out drinking sobe and vodka combo, you know, like
my God.
a creamy orange sobe mixed with vodka.
This is Sobe the one that had like the lizard on it?
Yeah.
Totally.
And
This
it
is
had a viscosity that was startling. It felt like something from Blade Runner. It was like weirdly thick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like you couldn't see through it. You're like, why
It's
not?
a slime. It's not a
In the Dave Matthews time, I was in high school. I had a boyfriend, and I could not believe this guy was my boyfriend. I'd kind of liked him for my whole life, And then he became my boyfriend. And something happened where he was like, my friends and I are going to the Dave Matthews concert, but I didn't get a ticket. And I don't know. I just didn't look into it. And then somehow a couple of other friends and I decided, well, we don't even like that music, but we want to go see our other friends. So we'll just go there while they're tailgating and then we'll go and leave. And when I got there, and saw him, he was really weird to me. And I realized he was fully on a date with another girl.
Oh.
And I was deeply humiliated. And I remember that she had like really big perky boobies and was wearing a t-shirt with like short kind of little like cap sleeves. And like, she was just really hot.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I was
picturing
like, makes sense. Like I was like hurt, but I wasn't allowed to show it because he weirdly wasn't admitting to being busted. And so we just all kind of like hung out. And then
she was admitting to being busty.
She was promoting it. And I was like, that's weird. Well, maybe if we never talk about it, like probably won't matter. You know, prom is in like 2 weeks. Like he's not even a senior and I am. Like I'm sure he wouldn't want to not go to that. And then he just like dumped me.
Damn.
Yeah. It's really one of those tragedies that when you think about it, you're like, that does suck. That really does
suck. And this was your ex, Pete Hegseth?
Yeah.
Where's he now?
That's how you
this
say
guy in
it.
tech? Yeah.
Yeah, what's he up to these days?
Sounds like a real asshole.
I've tried to look him up, but his name is too, like, there's too many.
I went to Lollapalooza at one point.
Whoa.
And that was like huge. And my brother had a high school band. My brother, Matt Daly, had a high school band called Hurl. And this
that
like,
is so 90s.
I know. Fuck. It's so, in retrospect, it's even more impressive, but his band got into Lollapalooza on
That's
the
crazy.
Wow.
And he was like 17, like really, really young band. And they were just like, they got written up in the paper in Pittsburgh and like, young band plays Lollapalooza. It's pretty cool. They were really good. And I was like 13 and I took my middle school friends to this. Oh. But I was about to go to another high school and they had discarded me mentally. So they had like, okay, you're going to private school or whatever, And I was like, my parents are like forcing me to go to private school. I don't want this, guys. But they were kind of mentally like, okay, who are we going to really hang out with?
Yeah.
And I remember bringing them to Lollapalooza and like we had like horrible weed. And I was like, guys, like my brother is playing the second stage. We could go see my brother's band and like go backstage at Lollapalooza. Like we could literally go like and hang out with bands. And they were like, nah, man. Nah. I was like, this is like the coolest thing you could possibly do.
To have like all access at 13.
What the hell?
Exactly. Yeah. I remember they were like, no, we want to see Rage Against the Machine. And I was like, we went to Rage Against the Machine. And now I like appreciate Rage Against the Machine.
Sure.
But when I saw them, it was like 4:00 in the afternoon. And it just from far away just looked like a white rapper. And I was like, this is the fucking lamest band I've ever seen. And he was going, fuck you, I don't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I don't do what you tell me. And I was like, this is the wackest thing I've ever seen. And we all like, and everyone thought it sucked. We were just like, oh, let's go. But I just remember being like, guys, I have the hookup. Like, but they were kind of like, yeah, we're going to go smoke bad weed with our friend with like a big shirt. It's going to be terrible.
With a big shirt.
We got the hookup, so it's cool.
I need you guys.
Before we do our questions, what we always do, I want to ask what the punk scene was like in high school. I think one of the only communities I've not posed my way into is any type of punk hardcore scene. I think I was a little scared of it. Yeah. Felt like people that got down that path were operating at a level I was not ready to commit to, and then I missed my moment.
Same.
Right. I was desperately trying to insert myself into the punk scene and kind of wearing the clothes. I would like wear my brother's shirts sometimes, and he was like deeply in it. It was like indie rock. There was a band called Don Caballero that was blowing up, and I was like, especially in high school, like I would just like try and go to their parties. And like Pittsburgh's a really like specific scene. So like, it's not like there was like hardcore punk, and my oldest brother, Austin, was in a hardcore band called Cryptic Alliance.
Yeah, I love
which is
band
like,
names. They're always so perfect. Cryptic
awesome.
Alliance.
Cryptic Alliance. And he was like in that, he was in that band, but I was too young to go to any of those shows. But those were like violent.
That's like the sort of show where people like just punch each other in the face.
Exactly. Yeah. Punch each other in the face. They'd spit on each other. It was just like too much. And then my middle brother, Matt, was in this band. And like, it was the kind of thing where you couldn't, like, it was uncool to dance or move. Right. It was like, you had to just kind of sit there and nod your head and look around and like, make sure nobody saw you like doing too much or like expressing emotion. So it was like kind of like that kind of scene. And I remember just going to their parties and drinking. And I went to like the first party I went to, I became a legend because I drank like 4 beers as fast as I could. I was so nervous. And then I smoked a joint and I was dizzy and I was like about to puke, but I was still trying to hang out. And I came into a room with like, and it was still like pretty pre-gamey. It was probably like 10 p.m. And I came into a room full of like punk rockers and people I thought was cool and hot girls and all this stuff. People who were like 21, 20, and I was 15 or 16. And I went, hey, everybody. And then I fell and broke their lamp and I passed out on my feet. The only time I've ever passed out on my feet.
Oh my God.
I fell down and broke their lamp. And I woke up in their bathtub, and they were throwing water on my face because I had passed out so hard. And these 2 hot girls that I liked were literally just taking care of me.
That's
and
so
I
cool.
was so fucked up that I was like acting like a game show host. I was just like, hello, how are you? And I was so embarrassed, just went into this place where I was like, excuse me, I like you, blah, blah, blah. And then every time I tried to hang out in that scene, people would bring that up and like be like, hey man, you're too young and you're stupid. And I'd be like, yeah, cool. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to make it in this scene. I'm going to try Rusted Root. And I had like a girlfriend and, you know, we went and it was pretty cool. I never saw Fish though, but I remember people being like, Fish fucking rocks. Check this song out, man.
People love
It's
Fish.
20 minutes long. And like, it
that was
sounds
the
like the
challenge
Who
for me.
at the end. Like they sound like the Who. And I was like,
If you just stick
cool.
with it. They
that
get into
good?
a groove 14 minutes in that sounds a little bit like The Who.
we should all go to the Sphere.
I would love to be honest.
I would actually see them at the
Never-
Sphere in a second.
I would see them at the Sphere. It looks so cool. That's
What's
the
the
only
Sphere?
circumstance.
Chair.
The
What
Sphere.
is it?
It's the Vegas bubble. That's like
Oh,
Giant
no.
ball.
I didn't know.
giant
I
ball
don't
that's a
know.
venue.
Yeah, it's a
You know, I'm
venue.
not a big like Vegas fan.
But it's like a big venue and it's got this dome. It's got a sphere of screens around it. So it's like IMAX in every direction. You know what I mean?
More like
It's-
I barf in every direction.
There you
know,
go.
I
Right,
have
yeah,
a problem
I
with
get
IMAX.
upset.
I get like really. The first time I went into IMAX was with my grandparents and my sister, and it was at the Museum of Science in Boston, and it was that IMAX movie To the Limit.
Yes,
you know?
baby.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Saw it.
The second that I heard Leonard Nimoy,
Yeah.
who was the announcer about the
I
sound
remember
system.
Leonard Nimoy.
Do you remember? It would be like,
Yeah.
who put the bomb? Put the bomb. 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 And like, I just was like, like my system just, and then my grandmother had to take me out.
Yeah.
And I
That's
was
like
just
the
like,
Harry
oh.
Potter ride at Universal is a real
Oh my
puke machine
God.
for me. I had to stare at my hand. I was just like, oh, like closing my eyes, like horrible. And then it ruined
ride,
like the
like,
next 2
messed with me.
hours. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't get the equilibrium back.
You know, I will say, John, you're one of my favorite people to party with. Like in the past, I have like some of the best party memories of you. And one of them is that we all took like so many mushrooms and we were maybe in like Napa or like the wine something or other.
Russian
Russian
River.
River. We were all on mushrooms and it was a really fun time. And I was sitting at a table because a lot of times when I'm on mushrooms, I think I'm being really decisive, but mostly every decision is terrifying to me. So I'll just be like, the right decision is for me to sit here. I know that clearly, but that's because like the idea of like moving my legs at all makes me feel like my entire world might collapse. So I was sitting at the table and then John just comes by with a pineapple, like a full uncut, still with its, hat on or whatever, pineapple, and just really calmly puts it like right next to me, like face to face with it's an inch from my face. He just goes, "Here." And puts the pineapple down. And I had no idea what it was. Like, I knew I should know what the object was, and I had no idea. And I was like, "Ah! Whoa! Wow! 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 Whoa! Whoa! Thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you, John." And you just were like you're welcome.
I could tell you were a child at that point.
Yeah.
You needed to just here's the thing. And I remember us also bonding over the crockery at the place, whatever place we were at.
Yeah, we were at like an Airbnb complex.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
We are 5 years old. Yeah.
We are 5. And then the other one was like, we were in Palm Springs and we were on MDMA and like, I wasn't naked and you weren't naked, but everyone else was like naked in a pool.
I remember this. Oh man.
And I was like, even on the most drugs, I know I'll never be naked. And like, I went in the pool because I was hot with all my clothes on, holding a balloon that was a champagne bottle. Then you and I went into the kitchen and we're like, we should make a fruit plate for everyone.
Yes.
I remember, John, I don't know if you remember this, but like, we took such care with what to put on.
Yeah.
And
Lots
in the
of
end,
detail.
it was just so much detail. We were in there for like, I thought like an hour. We presented it to everybody. We were like, guys, hold on.
Right.
And it had a strawberry that was like sliced and splayed out and one raspberry.
Yeah. And we were giving it to people who did not appreciate it because they were in a sexual mode.
Yeah.
Oh, all these people are gonna fuck, and I'm not. Yeah. I am so blasted out of my mind. I'm not really having sex with these people, so I'm just gonna. Hey, let's get these people some fruit.
Let's get these guys fed.
Let's get these guys fed, man.
Let's do these questions.
Let's do these questions. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We get listener voicemails and questions sent to us each week.
All right. Let's go.
Hello, this is an appointment reminder from
Tennessee Oculoplastics Nashville office
for Camilla. The appointment is on Tuesday, January 20th at 9:50 a.m.
in Nashville.
It's past.
Dr. Klippenstein at 1800.
Okay, I'm going to say that's a wrong number. I'm going to say that's a wrong number.
Dr. Klippenstein.
Yeah, I guess my advice would be to reschedule.
Yeah, Pamela, you have given your eye doctor the wrong phone number, and we apologize.
Yeah.
My advice also to Dr. Klippenstein: do an outgoing message that doesn't feel like 4 sisters recording it. It was strange the way it moved between like AI voice, fake voice, the actual woman, like it's the Three Witches in a Shakespeare play.
It's like watching the Polar Express.
It's like watching the Polar Express, exactly.
All right, we have a reel, because that voicemail was a wrong number and a bit of a bust. We got an email question, which we prefer to play audio, but this is a good question, so I'll read it aloud here.
Okay.
Hey guys, as a Christmas present, my friend got me a book from an author we both like. I was really excited about the gift, but the book was not very good, but also not terrible, and I have some critiques of it. Am I allowed to give the book a negative review on Goodreads, even though my friend follows me on there?
Oh.
If you're curious, the book is a poorly written, cheesy, but also kind of sweet, fake dating trope YA romance.
Okay, so what's the question? Or am I allowed to give a bad review on a book that was recommended?
That was a gift. That was a gift.
That was a gift.
And you know the person who gave it to you follows you on this platform.
Okay, you're captured by the internet, and the fact that you're thinking of this is even doing that is ridiculous. Like, you should never put anything on the internet because it's insane unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because you're like letting a book review like affect a relationship. That's my take.
That's a clean take.
Clean take.
I don't know. Like, you know how like someone was just telling me about a restaurant reviewer that reviews for like a fancy magazine. And she was like, if the restaurant is bad, like they just don't review it. Like,
Sure.
you know, unless it's like, this is, you know, Daniel Boulud's new restaurant and we need to know whether it's good or bad. Like, it's just like, you know, if this is like a new restaurant, like just save it. But also like, I guess if that's something like you like interacting, it's part of your life to leave reviews on this platform, definitely give your friend a heads up that you're glad that they gave you a present and you think that's so nice, but you feel compelled to leave this review. But that said, I agree with Jon that it's a what do they call it? It's an unforced error. You don't need to do it.
You don't need to do this. Yeah. I'm going to say just skip the book. I'm not going to come down hard on Goodreads. Like, I know, you know, people do this with like movies too. It's like, this is a social thing. You're talking about a thing. You're going to, you know, like the people you talk about it with, you're doing it online. Fair enough. But I would say, your friend gave you this book. I would just skip it and review the next one, maybe.
See, I think it's more complicated than you guys are saying because like Letterboxd, if you are sort of friends with someone and you follow each other's activity, there's like a presumption of almost like, I'm following your life here. I'm seeing what you're reading. I know that you watched 7 movies last week. I know that you just saw the new whatever. Even people that like start tracking their books on Goodreads before they're finished, where it's like your friends know, oh, you just started that book. You haven't left a review, but like, you know, because like Kindle will do that automatically. You start a new book on Kindle, it can update your Goodreads and be like, they're now reading this book.
And that can lead to real conversations.
I had no idea that this is how it goes. Yeah, okay.
If they're friends on Goodreads and actually take it seriously enough that this seems to be some drama between them or potential, I feel like they're people who are like, knowing what the other's reading, curious about the review, like the taste. I'm not disagreeing that they should just avoid the review. It might also be noticeable that they've started a book and are ignoring it, and that they're not like, the friend might be like, did you not read my gift? Did you not like my recommendation? You know?
I think it's totally fair to have the conversation with your friend. Hey, I read the book you gave me. Like, I like the rest I love the rest of this author's works, but this one wasn't my favorite, but let's talk about it. Maybe you loved it, whatever. That seems totally normal.
You just don't think there should be a negative review of the book on Goodreads?
I don't think your friend should find out that you didn't like it from Goodreads just because it was a gift. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Thanks for the book. It sucks.
Thanks for the book. I didn't actually like it. But
It's like, if that's IRL, it's thanks for the book. Not great, but like I would never say that. So this is an even more underhanded kind of way of doing that. Like,
I mean, it's really interesting that like to say to a friend, like, I just didn't like it that much, but I still want to be in the conversation about it, but is it okay with you that my review is like not going to be that good? It's such a strange micro way to have to be.
that's how I think. Yeah.
I guess maybe it's another version of like, I'm actually for the first time in a book club where I'm going to go to a friend's house, you know, and we're reading the book now and then we're going to talk about it. And I think one of the people I would imagine like, or two won't like the book. And I picked the book and I was like, this is a weird but you know what? If you want to know what one of my favorite books is this. And like, I would imagine that if they don't like it, they'll probably be like, I'm sorry, Jenny, I just like didn't like it. But to me, the more sinister thing is the opportunity to not do that, to talk sidebar with your friend, to post about it, and then to sort of halfway gaslight them by being like, oh, you're upset about that? I mean, but everybody leaves comments. You know, what you know,
I need people to know
you could have gotten in touch and if they're going to mention it to you, it's because they cared. There's like you can kind of tell. You can tell.
My advice to that person is to go out and get into a swimming hole and get in the mud and cover yourself in water and mud and grass, touch grass and look at the sun and just go, I'm alive.
Freaking
that's good advice.
Yoink up your vagal nerve, just reboot and plunge into something cold and
kick your legs over your head and flood that vagal.
I think I'm more sensitive to this Because I have situations where my my gooning pals will send me a link to Goon to, and then they've seen me leave a comment being like, mid, how red this guy's chest and balls are, didn't nut. And it's like, mid. Oh, but I sent you that as Goon material.
I was helping you to Goon.
And now I'm finding out on Pornhub that you didn't nut.
Wait, I thought when you Goon, you're not supposed to nut.
No, you nut.
You just take a long time to nut?
Well, you run out of nut.
It's more than that.
You edge, and then the edging becomes a big nut.
But also it becomes post-nut, where you're just at a certain point, just puffing air. It's like the eye doctor. You're just getting a little puff of air.
Oh, man.
I'm on Goodreads, guys, whatever.
Good. No, I see the appeal. I totally get it.
God, I get scared. It feels as if I'm very much in the world. My life feels real. Sometimes the amount that I purposely don't engage, and believe me, like you get off for 1 second and everything has changed in like 3 days. Like I had no idea why this would even matter. It's scary when you're like, it sounds like, my dad just being like, what are you talking about? Like, what is it? Like everything you're saying, I don't even know what it is. But I don't want to change.
You work at Sturbridge Village.
Yeah.
I work at Sturbridge Village. I'm the candle girl.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And sometimes I do bonnet stuff.
The butcher notices you. That's kind of like the extent of your priorities.
Yeah. I had a really disturbing, this is a little upsetting, but
all right.
my wife Natalie and I were flying to London, and we were in the airport. We were in LAX. This guy was kind of like touched mentally, not doing well upstairs, and just wearing kind of like coveralls and a cowboy hat, just a strange man. And he was approaching people, and we kind of saw him approaching people, and we were like, oh, I guess he's going to approach us too. And came up to us and he goes, hi, are you going to London? And we were like, yeah, have you been? And he was like, I've never been. This is my first time in London, and I'm meeting up with Emma Watson.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, okay, great. Just kind of go away. And he was like, yeah, that's like, we've been talking online, and it's Emma Watson. I'm meeting up with her.
No.
And I was just like, go away. I didn't think too much about it. And then this guy was going up to everyone on this plane because he was crazy. And this woman down the aisle was going, sir, this is AI. Sir, you're interacting with an AI. This is, you think, so this guy literally flew to London to meet up with who he thought was Emma Watson. And he bought the ticket and was going to London and going to a location to meet up with her and maybe get killed, I guess. I don't know.
Or he had sent a bunch of money, maybe.
Yeah, maybe sent a bunch of money or something, like Emma Watson needs money, but he was like in love with Emma Watson. And I was just like, that is, everybody go outside, get in a swimming hole and touch grass, because it's like
he's going to be kidnapped.
When I talk to my parents, I'm just like, oh, we're in two different worlds of information. Holy shit.
And that's why you gotta stay off Goodreads, folks.
You gotta stay off Goodreads. And
I don't care how much David Baldacci,
James Patterson,
James Patterson, you need. You gotta
Solver.
stay off. I need a lot of Barber King Solver, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, John, this was so fun.
That was so fun.
John, you're so good in Fallout.
You were so good in Fallout.
And the talk show.
Actor in general, great actor.
Thank you.
One of my faves,
The
John.
talk show is so funny. John, as the snake oil salesman, is doing a Fallout fake talk show, and it rules. It's like the best, I don't know, auxiliary content I've ever seen for a TV show.
I love auxiliary content, and I'm happy to be part of it.
I'm like, this should be... that should be also a television show. It's so good.
I agree. I'm going to talk to Amazon about that. And everyone watch Fallout Season 2. It's great.
Yeah, baby.
And fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
And
I miss
love
you.
And
Love
take
you.
care.
Jon Daly.
What?
One of the greats.
A true original.
We've known John for, 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah, back in Rafifi days.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Man, the random shit that he would improvise on Kroll Show is still some of the funniest stuff. And whenever I want to refer to cocaine, I really love calling it schneef. Wasn't that his?
he and Kroll used to call it schneef when they were the rich.
He and Kroll
rich
called
dicks.
it schneef.
Rich dicks. Those
rich
characters.
dicks.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh, the best.
What are you guys doing today?
I'm going to work, folks. I am broadcasting live from my new office. Took me forever to choose these ceiling tiles.
I was going to say, you love ceilings like
they
that.
are so gorgeous. And I circled around a bunch of different kinds and I chose these ones because I think they're the prettiest. But yeah, I got a full work day ahead of me, which I'm really excited about. And I think we're doing tacos for lunch, LOL.
I'm getting Rosie mobile groomed for the first time. Someone's coming to the house.
Oh.
Yeah. Because she's old and she gets
you don't need to get in that car.
She's really old. I'm doing one of the things that everyone knows I'm very bad at, packing a suitcase. And I'm flying to Sundance because the movie that I made is premiering there on the first night. And I'm really excited.
That is so huge, Jen.
I'm excited to do it.
Opening night? You kidding me?
It's wonderful. I'm going to go there and support the film and just try to do that.
Is it hard to make your, like, when you're doing the dialogue to make it match up to the stuff on screen, or will they just use what you
for
filmed
the live opening
when you made the movie? Yeah, for the I mean, that's what premieres are. It's everybody kind of does their part.
Everybody does their part over the already playing audio. For me, I just say whatever I feel, so I'm not off book because at this point I'm like, well, I already did the book. So when I watch the movie, if I feel like doing whatever I want,
you keep it honest.
I'm just going to say how I feel. And sometimes that'll be noises and sometimes I'll be asleep and,
great.
you know.
Big fart into the kind of meat of your palm, that kind of stuff.
That sort of stuff, you know, just whatever.
Well, pack safe. Love you guys.
Love you too.
See you
on the next one.
Bye.
See you soonsies.
I need you, girl.